Hey everybody, Xeminan here with the Illustrious Cards and Games Thursday night One Piece trading card game locals. This is round 5 of the tournament, the final round. This is the finals between Pixel and Fabian. Pixel winning very quickly with Kalgara last round on round 4. Make sure you go back and watch that video against another black deck in Rob Bellucci, but Fabian this time is running starter deck 14 Luffy instead of Lucci, and I actually lost to Fabian myself in round 4 in a really close match back and forth. So Fabian took my spot. No, just say he totally deserved it. Played incredibly well up to this point with his Luffy deck. So Fabian's a menace to deal with in the finals, but Pixel feeling confident winning on stream in the last round. So we'll see who's gonna walk away this Thursday night with the W for the local. Kalgara has had a pretty successful night on stream so far. Has won 2 of the 4 prior matches, so we'll see if they win 3 out of 5 here. Pixel will play the Holly on this turn. Does hit the Ohm search to hit Ollie on those 5 cards, Holly. So getting 2 characters out for the cost of 4 Don, really nice. Now it is Fabian's turn. He's got 5 Don available. Has already trashed 3 cards there from the brand new that whiffed. Swings 5 at Pixel's leader, who counters out of it with Ashura, and then Fabian plays Sabo, draw 2, trash 2, gonna trash the brand new. And then what do you do with the second card? You're gonna use something counterless that you might not need, or you're gonna have to get rid of something with counter. And I see that there's a Sanji in hand, and that's it. It's gonna be the Sanji that he trashes. Doesn't have counter on it, so makes a lot of sense. Now it's Pixel's turn. Pixel's on 6 Don here. This is the turn that you can make the magic happen, where you can take a life and regain a life at the same time. But for now, just gonna swing 5k with Holly. Wow, Luffy's still a 5k leader. Might as well get those licks in, since he is not boosted on his power yet. Since there's no 8 cost characters on the field. Sabo's gonna block that 5k swing. So now Ohm will swing into the Luffy, where Fabian counters out of that hit. Now you got Kalgara with a 6k swing, using the leader effect, playing 6 cost vanilla Kalgara, and then with his 5 remaining Don, playing the Wiper. Does not have the Nolan in hand, so Wiper is just gonna search. It is a 5/7, so it's a pretty beefy character to play out with the rest of Pixel's board. Honestly, has some really strong characters right now compared to what Fabian has on his side, but of course you would prefer that to be the Nolan who is able to heal your life, since Kalgara is on the field. But maybe he can find the Nolan on the next turn. Back over to Fabian on this 7 Don turn. We did already see 1 Jack in the trash, so you have to wonder how many Jacks Fabian is playing in his deck, and if he's able to come into contact with any of them here on this turn. Looks like he's going back and forth, piling up all of his Don. 5k swing from Luffy into Ohm. It's going to get countered out by the vanilla Kalgara. 1k counter in hand. Does that change Fabian's position here? Does that change his decision making on the board? Looks to see 2 Sanjis are in the trash, as well as a Jack. So losing some KO power, or KO threats, because they're in the trash. Keeping 1 Don away from the rest of the Don. Fabian has a really tough decision this turn. Do you maybe swing with Sabo into one of the attackers, so you have 1 less attack to deal with next turn? Fabian still is at 4 life, so it's not like he's in threat of potentially losing the game next turn. So I think there is merit into swinging into the enemy Holly or Ohm with your blocker Sabo this turn. Maybe might feel a little too scary if you're going to lose your blocker, but Ice Age -5 onto the vanilla Kalgara, bringing it down to a 1 cost, and Sanji will KO the Kalgara. So that's how he gets rid of 1 attacker the next turn. Does not attack with the blocker Sabo into either Holly or Ohm, so Pixel will still have both of them on the field. Now Pixel, if he has a Nolan, has to re-find another Kalgara, since that one was KO'd the prior turn, and he countered with a Kalgara on the in his hand last turn. So not the end of the world if you're not able to get the life heal from your leader effect, but Pixel does find the vanilla Kalgara on the search there. So now Holly is going to swing 6 at Luffy, gets countered out with the Suru. What does Ohm and Wiper do? It's going to be a 6k swing from leader Kalgara to play the vanilla, taking his top life. In response, at 6k, does Fabian counter out of it, or does he take a card? Because you still have 4 life at this point. So at a certain point, you can just gain cards from your life as a resource, see if they can maybe help you out. And that is what Fabian does. I agree with taking that 6k swing. Now it's Ohm. You counter out with a 2k. Wiper is a 7k power, so it's a little bit harder. That would have cost 2 cards out of hand. So Fabian's going to lose 2 life. And we are already 2-2 on life here in this game. Now, we also, just gotta let you know, had a little bit of an internet issue there. So we're going to move over to our next. Oh, here we go. Stream got back up and we didn't miss too much. Fabian just played the Jack, is going to activate Jack, trashing a card to KO the Holly, who is a 3-cost character. So that was the big thing. It was had to do it over 2 videos there. I apologize for the internet issues from the VOD, but we are all caught up again. Fabian does have a Don attached to his Luffy, meaning Jack is giving him that 8-cost character on the field, which allows Luffy to be at 6k power, which is really, really helpful. Sanji is going to swing into Pixel using 2 characters or 2 cards to block out of that. Pixel down to his last life. So this is a turn that would be very, very scary to try to use Kalgara leader effect, because you put yourself down to 0. It's not like you have rush. Besides, some Kalgara players actually play the ace, the 5-cost, the 5/7 ace that has rush. But you don't usually have rush. You don't have blockers typically in the Kalgara deck. So a very, very thin margins for the ways that Kalgara performs well. You don't have a lot of defensive mechanics, let's just say, to stay in the game. So has 10 Don. Ohm is just going to swing into the leader. He has, I believe it's 3 cards in hand, so going to block with a Rebecca, just a 1k block, 1k counter. Now it's going to be a 7k swing with the leader Kalgara into Luffy. Fabian has 2 cards. It would cost him a 2k to get out of it. If what are the odds he has a 2k in hand? Checking his trash, see what he has available. Tough decision with just 2 life remaining and so many extra attacks. Takes the life. Fabian down to 1. Now it's going to be an 8k swing into the Luffy. That's going to cost 2 cards as a 6k power leader. That's going to cost 2 cards to get out of it. He only has 3 available in his hand. Effectively, if you take that, it's going to cost you pretty much your whole hand. Is not able to take it. Now Wiper going to swing for 8. And he's actually able to counter out of it and stay alive, but then plays Nolan instead of it's saving that 5 extra Don to keep Nolan to go back up to 2 life. An absolutely perfect play from Pixel. Gains the life, keeps the Don up to activate one of his counter events in hand, gets rid of Fabian's blocker, brings Fabian down to 0 life as well. Pixel perfect turn from Pixel. I'm sorry, had to get that joke in there here. So now just in a really strong position. Jack can only KO 1 character, right? So it's going to be tough for Fabian to clear the board here, especially since Kalgara is an 8k power, the vanilla. The wipers are 7,000 power too, so you're gonna have to attach Don to the board and stuff to try to KO Pixel's board. And if you don't get the knockouts, if he's able to counter out of it with those, with like 6 cards in hand, that means he's probably gonna be able to save at least a couple of these characters for the following turn. So Fabian has 10 Don. You'd imagine at least one of those 10 Don will be attached to the leader to activate his ability and go up to 6k power. Looks like he's going to put 3 Don onto Sanji to swing here. Swing into life. Pixel will take it. It is a wiper in hand. One of them's a vanilla and one of them's a 2k. You play both in the deck. It's hard to tell sometimes. I think it was the 2k there. So I think he actually gained counter power from taking that life, which is really crucial. Now Fabian has to figure out how else do you attach, because there's 7 cards in Pixel's hand. The odds that your leader swing and your jack swing are going to be able to break through, unless Pixel just has the most bricked hand of all time, are very, very low odds here. You could attack with the brand new to try to force cards out. Try to just force maybe 2 cards out, attack for 7 with brand new, and force 2 cards out of Pixel's hand, and then let go Luffy and Jack. But this is a really tough spot for Fabian. He knows if he passes the turn, this game is over. That's a 10k swing with Jack. Is going into life. I believe it goes into life. Yep. So Pixel's going to play the event, gaining power, gets to search an upper yard or use an upper yard in hand. So looking at the top 5 cards from his deck for Sky Island card. Gets the Sky Island Satori 2k counter. That is huge. Now you can play Satori as well as Kalgara. Gets out of the attack, and now just mathematically Fabian can't win the game this turn with only his Luffy leader and the brand new attacks left. Pixel has enough counter in hand to get out of one or the other, especially if Pixel's top life has counter on it as well. It's just going to make him even easier to take it. So now does Fabian adjust his plans here, try to swing at 2 characters on the board with Luffy and brand new? But yet again, remember, Pixel has cards, has counter in hand. So I think Pixel's just played a really good game in this finals match. He's just potentially 1 turn away from winning the finals and going 5-0 here. Attaching 4 Don onto brand new, so that is a 7k swing. It's going to be into the life. Pixel takes it, gets the trigger on the event, so going to be able to trigger that out, gaining a card. Has 8k counter in the hand. What was left in the hand, it looks like, I think he had exactly enough, unless that is a Shura, and I just can't see it off of the quality of the middle card there, because Ace in the event, on the other hand, he could not counter. So Pixel had exactly enough counter to get out of that turn alive and knock out Fabian, winning the Illustrious Thursday night locals, going 5-0. Like I said, I went 4-1. I lost to Fabian in that last round, in round 4 of Swiss. So congratulations to Pixel. That's going to do it. I got 10 seconds till the next video loads. We don't need Lorcana. We need more One Piece. Subscribe to the channel. Xeminan out.